The cryptocurrency world is holding its breath. Coinbase, one of the largest and most recognizable cryptocurrency exchanges globally, finds itself locked in a legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. This case has far-reaching implications, potentially redrawing the lines for the entire crypto industry. At its core, the case revolves around the classification of cryptocurrencies. Are they securities subject to the SEC's oversight, or are they something else entirely? Coinbase has long argued that most cryptocurrencies, including those traded on its platform, are not securities and therefore fall outside the SEC's jurisdiction. However, the SEC has taken a more assertive stance, viewing many cryptocurrencies as securities subject to its regulatory purview. This fundamental disagreement has created a tense standoff, culminating in the SEC's lawsuit against Coinbase. The stakes couldn't be higher. For Coinbase, a ruling against it could mean a significant curtailing of its operations, potentially even threatening its very existence. The company has built its business on the premise that most cryptocurrencies are not securities. A legal defeat would force Coinbase to drastically alter its business model, likely leading to financial losses and a diminished market position. Beyond Coinbase, the entire crypto industry is watching this case with bated breath. A victory for the SEC could usher in a new era of stricter regulation for cryptocurrencies, potentially stifling innovation and slowing the industry's growth. Conversely, a Coinbase win could embolden other crypto companies and encourage further innovation in the space. This legal battle, therefore, represents a pivotal moment for the future of cryptocurrencies. The legal battle between Coinbase and the SEC is complex, centering on the definition of a security under U.S. law. The SEC relies on the Howey Test, a legal precedent established in 1946, to determine if an asset qualifies as a security. The Howey Test stipulates that an asset is a security if it involves an investment of money in a common enterprise, with the expectation of profits to be derived primarily from the efforts of others. Applying the Howey Test to cryptocurrencies is where things get complicated. The SEC argues that many cryptocurrencies, particularly those offered through initial coin offerings, or ICOs, meet the criteria of the Howey Test. Investors often purchase these cryptocurrencies with the expectation of profits, and the value of these cryptocurrencies is often tied to the efforts of the developers or promoters behind them. Coinbase, however, contends that most cryptocurrencies traded on its platform do not meet all the prongs of the Howey Test. The company argues that many cryptocurrency purchases are driven by a desire to use them for transactions or as a store of value, not solely for investment purposes. Additionally, Coinbase emphasizes the decentralized nature of many cryptocurrencies, arguing that their value is not solely dependent on the efforts of a central group or individual. The legal arguments on both sides are intricate and nuanced. The outcome of this case hinges on how the court interprets the Howey Test and its applicability to the unique characteristics of cryptocurrencies. The court's decision will have significant implications for how cryptocurrencies are regulated in the United States and could set a precedent for other jurisdictions globally. The SEC's lawsuit against Coinbase is part of a broader trend of increased regulatory scrutiny of the cryptocurrency industry. The decentralized and often anonymous nature of cryptocurrencies has raised concerns among regulators worldwide, who worry about their potential use in illicit activities like money laundering and fraud. Governments are also grappling with how to tax cryptocurrency transactions and prevent tax evasion. The SEC, under its current chair Gary Gensler, has taken a particularly aggressive stance toward cryptocurrencies. Gensler has repeatedly stated that he believes most cryptocurrencies are securities and has urged crypto companies to register with the SEC. The agency has launched numerous investigations and enforcement actions against cryptocurrency companies, accusing them of violating securities laws. This crackdown has sent shockwaves through the crypto industry. Many crypto companies argue that the SEC's approach is heavy-handed and stifles innovation. They contend that existing securities laws are ill-suited for the unique characteristics of cryptocurrencies, and that applying them to crypto will only serve to drive innovation offshore. The outcome of the Coinbase case could embolden the SEC to pursue even more aggressive enforcement actions against other crypto companies. If Coinbase, one of the largest and most compliant crypto companies, is found to be in violation of securities laws, it could give the SEC more ammunition to target smaller and less established players in the crypto space. This could lead to a chilling effect on the industry, discouraging investment and slowing innovation. Section 4. Good faith and the path forward. Despite the adversarial nature of the lawsuit, both Coinbase and the SEC have expressed a willingness to engage in good faith discussions to find a regulatory solution for cryptocurrencies. Coinbase has repeatedly called for clear regulatory guidelines from the SEC, arguing that the current lack of clarity is hindering the industry's growth. The company has also indicated its willingness to work with regulators to establish a comprehensive regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies. The SEC, while maintaining its position that most cryptocurrencies are securities, has also expressed openness to working with Congress to develop a regulatory framework specifically tailored to cryptocurrencies. In several public statements, Chair Gensler has acknowledged the need for clear rules and has indicated a willingness to engage with lawmakers on this issue. However, despite these overtures, significant differences remain between the two sides. Coinbase and many others in the crypto industry believe that a new regulatory framework is needed, one that takes into account the unique characteristics of cryptocurrencies. They argue that simply shoehorning cryptocurrencies into existing securities laws is not a viable long-term solution. The SEC, while open to some adjustments, maintains that the existing securities laws provide sufficient investor protection and that any new framework must not compromise these protections. Bridging this gap will require compromise and a willingness from both sides to consider alternative approaches. Section 5. Shaping the future of crypto regulation. The Coinbase SEC lawsuit is a watershed moment for the cryptocurrency industry. The case's outcome will have profound implications for how cryptocurrencies are regulated in the United States and could influence regulatory approaches globally. The court's decision will likely determine whether the U.S. fosters innovation in the crypto space or stifles it with overly burdensome regulations. A ruling in favor of the SEC could lead to a significant tightening of regulations for the crypto industry. Crypto companies may be required to register with the SEC, comply with stringent disclosure requirements, and face limitations on how they operate. While this could provide greater investor protection, it could also stifle innovation and make it difficult for new crypto companies to emerge. Conversely, a victory for Coinbase could pave the way for a more innovation-friendly regulatory environment for cryptocurrencies in the U.S. It could encourage other jurisdictions to adopt a similarly permissive approach, potentially leading to a flourishing of the crypto industry globally. However, it could also raise concerns about investor protection and the potential for market manipulation if not accompanied by appropriate safeguards. Regardless of the outcome, the Coinbase SEC case highlights the need for clear and comprehensive crypto regulations in the U.S. The current patchwork of state and federal regulations is confusing and creates uncertainty for both crypto companies and investors. A well-defined regulatory framework would provide much-needed clarity, fostering innovation while protecting investors. Section 6. Awaiting the final verdict. As the legal battle between Coinbase and the SEC continues, the cryptocurrency industry waits anxiously for the court's decision. This case represents a critical juncture for the future of crypto regulation in the U.S. and beyond. The court's interpretation of securities laws and their applicability to cryptocurrencies will have far-reaching consequences. The case has already sparked intense debate and scrutiny of the existing regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies. Lawmakers, regulators, and industry experts are closely watching the proceedings, recognizing the need for a balanced and forward-looking approach to crypto regulation. The final verdict, whenever it arrives, is unlikely to be the end of the story. Appeals are likely, and the debate over how to regulate cryptocurrencies will undoubtedly continue. However, the Coinbase SEC case will undoubtedly shape the contours of this debate and influence the future of crypto regulation for years to come.